Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Modern Woman Profession. Today we got a nice video. So let's see what it say.
Never happen.
This would
but
never
of
happen
course,
because
yeah, for sure.
you know, like
this kind of stuff doesn't
America,
happen.
the greatest
but
country in the world. There's no way that
husbands of senators don't drink.
They don't just
DUIs.
DUI. Well, let's imagine you did, right? In America, you get off with it scot-free. But if you're a single mother or you're a single parent and you're out there working a minimum wage job and you're trying your very, very hardest and you have kids to raise and you get a DUI, you're fucked. Now, I think it's kind of unfair that the corruption limit in a rich country, in this hypothetical super rich country, means that people at the absolute elite can do whatever they want and nobody else has access. I'll give you another example. Let's imagine you're in Serbia. Same scenario. You're a senator's husband and you get caught with a DUI. Of course, nothing's going to happen to you. But you're a normal person, you get caught with a DUI. Bro, I've had a hard day at work. I know I'm over the limit. Sorry. Here's $50. I'm sorry. I'm just going to drive straight. All right, cool. Go home. Bam. Accessible corruption. To me, that's a more of an appealing environment to live under than under a society where they're going to take a normal person, wreck them under the law, throw their ass in jail and fucking destroy them, and sit there and cry about law and order, law and order, law and order, when it's all bullshit anyway. There's no law and order. The threshold for corruption's too high. So
here we're going to talk about why I hate being married. As you know, many people, when they are young, they see family structure and they want to have family, build a legacy. But now in certain age, after you love somebody, you fall in love and then you want to marry and do the right thing. But during that marriage, you find out that why you now don't want to be in the relationship and then you hate it that much. First of all, the reason why, because you got to do in public that everyone has to see you, that you married to that woman. But all the boyfriend, all those sneaky link, all the one night stand, all the funny benefit, all the work husband, all the neighbor, all this stuff like that, he didn't quit it. All those pookie are there watching you at the altar, and then they never heard about them. Some of them hit it raw, so you never know how many abortions she had, how many times she went to the clinic, and how many times she delivered the baby, and how many STDs she has and STIs she had. But you know, the altar believe that she is the pure and honest woman. Other reason you hate being married because your money is never your money. Since the beginning relationship, you got to spend on her. And now you're in a relationship, she's entitled to half of your stuff. Either you give it to her or not, the law gonna try to get all of it. And then on top of that, you gotta pay for her flight, her food, her clothes, her nail, her hair. And then if you cannot, she can go back to her old lifestyle, which is Pookie and Ray Ray and lavish $100 to get whatever she wants. The other reason why I hate being married is that the bucks become conditional, it become transactional. If you mow the lawn, I'm gonna give you $1. If you clean the house, I'm gonna give you $1. If you fix the sink, I'm gonna give you $1. If you take out the garbage, maybe I give you a BJ. But if I don't feel like give it to you, even though everything is perfect, I'm not gonna give it to you. But I'm gonna talk about everything else, except for that. When you come from work, I'm not gonna cook for you. She's not gonna clean for you. She always do it because sometimes she feel like it, or some reason because she don't want to. She already have a wing, and on top of that, you cannot judge her for that. If you judge her for that, the world gonna say it's your mistake because you pick her. Now you gotta deal with the consequences. And the reason why you hate being married is that if you have a kid, you lost your wife. The reason why, because now she spent all the time with her kids. She has a lot of energy with the kids and no energy for you. She can never be too tired for the kids, never too exhausted. But for you, always tired, always next time, always sleeping, always have no energy. But on top of that, you're the one guy that watched her and the baby, and on top of that, she gonna call you for everything she need, the diaper, the powder milk, the cradle, and so forth and so on. She gonna call for you. But once at the end of the night and when you're available, she's too tired for you. So basically, you're in a relationship that you don't have nothing in return. And she probably give it to you once, probably every month, or sometimes twice every month, for you to maintain the relationship or to give you something going on so you can keep sending money to her, or you're gonna have to say no to her because become frustrated. Now I understand why many people, when they're in a relationship a long time, they're not happy, they're stressed, their face are changing, they have disease, and the next thing you know, they have a lot of thinking to do, because now they say like life is unfair, because they think about that they are honest, they think about that life is gonna be a escape for them because they can be live peacefully. But no. Once you're married, it's like a trap, because you cannot talk to religious people about it, because they told you you're married for life. If you ask for divorce, they said you're not a Christian, you never was. But she always nagging your head, she always cursing at you, she always trying to manipulate things and saying that you said you didn't know, and turns people against you. But if you point that out, you are the one that's the evil, you are the one that's doing her good, because always your fault, because you're the one who picked her. And then on top of that, she's not religious, she's doing witchcraft beside you. Sometimes they do it in public, sometimes they pay people to do it for you, for her, and sometimes it's just being crazy, because next thing you know, you're in trap, you're delusional, and then now you are against a false power that you never encountered before. That's why when they get older, they're looking for a man that's religious, because regardless that they're religious, those men, they're not pay attention to that, they're always gonna be able to accept it, because they say that outside might be worse, or even worse, they're gonna say I'm sick for until death. But most of the time they die before the woman, because they are stressed, they are sick, and they have a man is toxic. And if they cheat, the church gonna describe them as all the name they can do except for a Christian. But if she does it, that's me you didn't do something right, that's me you missed something, that's why you did something wrong, that's why she did that. And the sister even in church, they're not gonna shame her, they're gonna forgive her, they're gonna try to ask a prayer for forgiveness. But you're gonna kick out the church, you're not gonna be able to serve, and next thing you know, you're not welcome in any places. Sometimes at work, you cannot even look at a woman because of SA. And then on top of that, you feel trapped because you got no services at the relationship. And then when you look for something else somewhere else outside the relationship, you become trapped, because now they can use it against you. That's why marriage in the West is so detrimental, because it's not a good interest for men, because they never care about the mental health of men. All they care about what a man can provide. He can cook, he can pay for the bill, he can clean up the house, and on top of that, he is good in bed, or even though it's going to be all the characteristic, but if he has good money, you got nothing to say, because he's the one who picked her. Whatever the flaw she has, whatever the bad thing she does to you, you're able to humble, because men can handle anything. But they forget that men are human beings, they have feelings, and they also can have emotion too. But once you have emotion and then you lash out, every society, they say you're wrong, because why you're yelling at someone, because you shouldn't, because she's the love of your life. But at the end of the day, it's not worth it for men. Marriage is a trap. It's a trap for men, because the older you get, you see life what it is, and the weaker you become. And women, they plan their way out by that time, because they said, I'm not here until death, I'm here until you can do anything I want you to do. And then if you're weak, if you're sick, and you slip up, I'm out, and I'm not gonna stay. That's why you see older men, they're always gonna be neglected, they're always gonna be suffering, because their value diminish, their value decrease. And as an older woman, they think their value increase, because now she can put anything she wants, she can have it, anything he has, because she, on top of that, she got menopause, so there's no trace, no way to find out. Is this fair? It is really fair for marriage in America and the West Country. My advice to you, if you haven't married, don't try, because it's a life commitment. Women change at any time, any day, any moment. Any circumstance of her life, she can change. Either family member, either friend, society can change her. and you never know until you see the full force of how much she changed. And on top of that, she's trying to blame you, which is why I hate to be married. If you like my video, thumbs up, subscribe.
What is your profession?